Salutations friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about some of my favorite primers. Some of these are old favorites that I've had in my collection and have been using pretty much for years, and some of these are more recent additions that I've just absolutely fallen in love with. And also at the end of this I'm going to talk about one or two primers that have kind of not been the best. So if you want to know about my primers and my favorite primers recently, then keep watching. First and foremost, I'm filming in here again because it's late, and you get my art studio section right here, and then right here is where I do my makeup, and right here is my perfume. This is kind of like my all-in-one beauty art room in the house. Anyway, yeah, so I'm going to talk about some primers. I'm going to talk about my absolute favorite primers first, because I think most people want to watch that. So if you only want to know about my favorite primers, you don't have to stick through this entire video, but I am going to get into a lot of other primers that I use and love as well. So the first primer is obviously going to be Allure from Guerlain. This primer has a cult following across all of Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, blogs, beauty blogs, YouTube, everywhere, anywhere where you see anyone talking about beauty, sharing beauty, specifically luxury beauty, this little guy is like one of the things that you will find everywhere, and rightfully so. This product to me is very much hyped, but for all the right reasons. This primer does a fantastic job for me of firming and lifting just a little bit to just kind of give my skin a little bit more, like it looks a little bit nicer than other primers that I use because of the lifting. My skin looks bright when I wear this. This makes my makeup apply beautifully and it lasts all day. I wanted to briefly touch on another primer that I'm testing that's along the same lines. This is the YSL Touche Clot Blur Primer. It's kind of along the same lines as this guy right here. It's got the gold flecks in there. It does a really good job of making your pores look nice, specifically having your makeup apply flawlessly and having your makeup last longer. However, I would say that this is a slightly dumbed down version of this. As good as this is, and as much as I've been liking using this, this doesn't do the same thing that this does, which is to me is kind of like firming and lifting just a little bit. This does give you a beautiful base for your makeup, and I'm not against getting this, but if you had to choose between the two, definitely get this one. This one is a little bit more money than this one. This guy is still expensive full size, so I'm going to recommend this guy. This is my absolute favorite primer just in general. I love it. But this is definitely a primer that you definitely should experience to understand where all the hype is coming from. Another favorite primer comes from Korea, and this is the Face Blur from Etude House. I love this primer. A lot of people have been talking about this primer. This is a cult classic primer. I'm just going to kind of show you how it looks. Just put a little bit right there. This goes on your skin really nicely. It absorbs very well. It kind of gives you a semi-airbrushed look, not as much as this guy does, but just enough to make your skin look really beautiful and luminous. Your makeup goes over it like a dream and it lasts all day. The other thing that I like about this is this does have 33 SPF. So if you're looking for a good SPF for your skin, for sun protection and UV protection, this is a great primer. I also just love how weightless this is. This goes on the skin, it absorbs quickly, your makeup goes on beautifully over it, and it's not heavy. This is one of my absolute favorite primers to use. I adore this. Another primer that I really love is from Smashbox. This is the Photo Finish Foundation Primer. This is the classic one. This is, I think, the jumbo size of this. I just got this recently. I'm using through one of these little guys before I get into this big bad boy, but I love this. This goes on my skin It makes my skin look amazing. It makes the makeup go on fantastically. And it lasts all day. It's really like, I can understand why this is a classic. I would say that if you love this, you'd absolutely love this. And if you can't afford this right away, this is definitely one to get until you can probably afford this. I'm not saying like, you know, this is so expensive, but some people don't want to spend this much money on a primer. But if you want to spend a little bit of money on a nice primer and get along the same, you know, experience and results, this definitely, not so much the YSL one because you're only spending a little bit more than this. This is like half the price of this at least. But this is just a fantastic primer. It is a classic for a reason. I think this put Smashbox on the map for primers. They are ahead of the game in my personal opinion when it comes to primers. They have a primer for everything, and more likely than not, that primer is phenomenal. Next up is another luxury primer. Now, some people know about this, some people don't know about this. I heard about this from Tati from the Glam Life Guru. She loved it. She has the same taste in primers that I do. So I decided to give this a whirl and I fell in love. And it's from Edward Bess. This is the Black Sea Precious Pearl Perfecting Primer. This is a cream that you put on right underneath your makeup. Your makeup goes on beautifully. It does a little bit of firming. But what I love about this is the luminosity that it gives your skin. I have kind of a dull complexion, so anything that can really make my complexion look brighter and more alive, I'm totally down for. Let me show you the consistency of this. I keep my lids on my jars to make sure everything stays nice and fresh. I try to do that because I think jars aren't the best way to keep things fresh, so anything I can do. So this is the consistency of it. I don't know if you can really see because of the light. It has like a light pearlescence. It almost looks like it's a powder that's in there. So when you put this on your skin, it absorbs really quickly. Let me see if I can turn this light off so you can maybe see a little better. Can you see, like, this gives you a beautiful dewy finish to your skin. It's going to just make you look more luminous. It's going to be like your skin but better. And I just love how moisturizing this is. So if I feel like my skin's kind of dull and it's a little bit dry, this is the primer that I'll go for. This is also one of my favorite primers to wear on days where I'm wearing a little bit less makeup, because it just kind of shines through and just makes everything look dewy and fresh and moisturized and beautiful and healthy. And on lighter makeup days, that's kind of the look that I'm going for. So I love this. If you have the chance to experience this, this is definitely worth the hype. I don't think enough people use this or give this credit. It is a luxury primer. It is luxury price, but it is well worth it. If you wear makeup, if you don't wear makeup, even if you don't wear makeup and you just kind of want your skin to look really nice, this is just something fantastic to wear. So I absolutely love this guy. Those currently are my favorite primers, but I did kind of want to give a few positive mentions to other primers that I've really, really liked. Specifically, the Smashbox Photo Finish Foundation Primer, the Pore Minimizer. This is the purple one. Let me see if I can open this for you. That's a little bit, this kind of is a little bit more thick than the original. Ooh, this is very similar to me to the Benefit Porefessional. I actually did a battle where I wore one side of my face the Porefessional and one side of my face this. I will link that blog post below. But like this does, I put a lot on. That's as much as I put on my entire face. But this does a fantastic job of just literally, like, I don't know if you can see, like my lines on my hand are gone. This is such an incredible primer. The issue why I don't have a full size of this or a full size of the Porefessional, which is another fantastic primer, I just love this one a little bit more, is the fact that over time, this kind of like will make my makeup break up. It's not too bad. I don't really use this on my entire face. I used to use it on my entire face. Now I'll just kind of put this on my nose and a little bit on my cheeks and up here where I have issues like spot treat with this, which is why I don't need a full size of this yet. When I run out of this, I keep getting like sample sizes of this, so I don't need to buy a full size. But this doesn't work well enough for me to be like, hey, it's a favorite, because it does kind of make my makeup break up. But if I put it on areas where like I have really heavy pores, if I touch up throughout the day, it's not a big deal. So I do like this, but there are some issues I have with it. I had the same issues with the Porefessional. It isn't so much of a primer as it is a pore perfecting sunscreen from Tati. This is Silken. I don't like this so much as a sunscreen. I like this more as a primer, but it is on the heavy, thick side. Let me see if I can show you. And it is expensive for what it is. I mean, I have no issue if you're gonna get a nice skincare product, but the fact of the matter is, you know, this is an expensive sunscreen and primer, and it doesn't really do sunscreen great, and it doesn't really do primer perfect. So I definitely don't think this is one of Tati's best products. So I probably won't be repurchasing this, but it is like a heavy, thick sunscreen. And when you put this over your skin, specifically on your face, because we're talking about face primers, this does do a really good job of keeping your makeup fresh all day. Your makeup will stay, it won't move. This doesn't do a good job of pore perfecting though, which is kind of silly because it's in the name. But overall, I don't dislike this. I just will not be repurchasing this because I have other things I like more, specifically for the price. But if this is something you guys had been wanting to try, I'd say if you have dry skin and you want a really good primer and you're looking for a good sunscreen, I definitely recommend this. If you have issues with big pores or you're looking for something that's going to make your face look airbrushed and perfect, I'd steer clear of this. So yeah, this is just kind of like one of the primers that I like and don't like, kind of doesn't fit the bill. And at least I want to talk about a primer that has completely dropped the ball. It's almost empty, so it's going to be in my empties video, and it's probably going to be in my favorite video as something that I hate. And that is the Lancome Miracle CC Cushion in, I think this is 04 Purple. I love using violet to color correct. I have powders with violet in it. I've used other things with violet in it to color correct. I think it is perfect. Kind of like why I really like this. I find, there we go, my complexion can be very dull, so I do like to use things that kind of brighten it and give it a little bit more life. Violet has been perfect for that, but this primer is just no good. I don't like it. Let's see if I can show you. So it's a cushion. I like the cushion. I think the cushion idea for a primer is great. I'm almost done with it. I probably got a few more applications. I've been using this when I use this guy, just it kind of works. But if you like, it goes on and it's okay. The issue I have with this is like the lavender is supposed to make your skin look alive. This makes me look like a zombie. It makes me look gray and like dead. And I've used other lavender primers before, and I thought I love them, and I was like, oh, Lancome, I love Lancome. You know, it's a luxury brand. Of course, this should be great. This is horrible. This isn't worth the money. I will probably go more into this in another video, but I just kind of wanted to say this is a primer that definitely dropped the ball. It also doesn't make my makeup last all day, and it kind of makes me a little bit greasy. Anyway, so yeah, those are my favorite primers, and then other primers I kind of like, and then primers that didn't quite fit the bill or really horrible, but I did kind of want to give you an idea of the primers that I really loved and also compare it to primers that kind of dropped the ball so you can see why the primers I loved, you know, like compared to other primers that were really popular, other primers that are expensive. I use a variety of different primers as well. This is about half of the amount of the primers that I have. So I didn't want to go into my entire primer collection. I just kind of wanted to mention some key points. If I was going to recommend one primer to you guys, I'm going to recommend the Smashbox because I think that budget-wise, most people can definitely afford this. It does a fantastic job of priming your skin, perfecting your skin, covering pores, any issues you have. Your makeup's going to go over beautifully on it and it's going to last all day. And I really, really love this primer for that. It isn't my favorite, but it is definitely in my top 3. So I would definitely recommend this because of price and because of needs of a lot of people. If you're looking to cover your pores, if you're looking to have your makeup apply beautifully and last all day, definitely recommend this. But I also would definitely recommend this guy. This guy is just a little bit harder to get your hands on because it's Korean, and some of the places where that you can get shipped within the United States within 1 to 3 days, they run out really quickly. Other places, if you order from Korea, it could take 4 weeks to get to you. So just because this is a little harder to get your hands on, I'm not going to recommend it over this, but I do absolutely love this a lot. And again, this primer, oh my gosh, it's just amazing. Really, truly, this deserves all the hype and all the love that it gets. Again, this is my personal opinion based on my needs and my skin and the type of makeup I put on and all that beautiful jazz. But I think this is not overhyped. I think this is hyped just enough because this is a fantastic, fantastic primer. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. I think tomorrow is Thanksgiving. I hope you guys all have a happy Thanksgiving. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, do remember to give it a thumbs up. It lets me know to continue doing videos like this. I don't know if you guys want me to go more in depth into some favorites. I know I did an entire series of all of my favorite products, like my favorite lipsticks, my lip stains, my foundations, but sometimes some people want me to go into my favorites and then compare it to things that I don't like so you can see why I like things rather than just an entire video of me raving about products that I love. So if you like this style video, I'd be more than happy to do it. Just let me know below in the comments or just like this video again. Also, I keep hitting things. Also, don't forget to subscribe for my quality content. I put out new videos every Monday through Friday and sometimes also on the weekends as well, so I'll always have something for you to watch. In any case, I hope you guys are all happy and healthy and have a great day, month, year, whatever, and I will see you next time. Bye. So, real quick, do you notice that not a single cat was up here? This is the first time I've filmed sitting here that no cats interrupted my video. I'm kind of offended. Do they not love me anymore? Do I not feed them enough chicken?